which we're not going to debate that here.
Yeah, please let's not.
Yeah, we beat the hell out of that one, so we're good here. Luis Suarez now joining Messi at Milan. Obviously, Busquets and Alba were already there, and they got this whole crew now. The question is, Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez will help lead Inter Miami to an MLS Cup this year. Mark, first.
That is a formidable forward line, even if they are, at the ultimate of their career, shall we say. I mean, I think, when Messi's not there, Miami do obviously take a bit of a hit. But, Suarez, if he can get anywhere close to what he was at the top of his game, then he will score loads of goals. I mean, the last time I saw him play, he looks like a little bit out of shape and he probably needs to do a bit of work in the gym. But I do think that he's got this incredible natural ability, Suarez, to score a goal and to make things happen. But it's going to take a very good team to stop them because they've just got incredible firepower.
I totally agree. Listen, I find the easiest of players to fit in Major League Soccer of those aging post-European players, let's call it, are strikers. I think everywhere else on the park, players struggle largely. You saw Zlatan, where I thought he was well past his best, come in and have the impact that he did. I know he then went back to Europe and Milan and continued to exceed all expectation there. But more often than not, strikers can, because of their instinct, because of their touch, which you don't necessarily lose, they come in and are successful. So it leans that way for Inter Miami. And then when you see the impact that Lionel Messi had once he came in last season, how improved Inter Miami were, it's hard to disagree. But of course, now we're talking about Lionel Messi coming in, Luis Suarez coming in for an entire season. Can they last the demands of Major League Soccer? Because again, while we saw the impact of Messi once he came in, we also saw that once he picked up that injury while away on international duty, how Inter Miami fell off. So if everybody stays fit, I can totally see Inter Miami going on and lifting MLS Cup. The bigger question is, can they, at the age that they are, with the demands, not just with Inter Miami and Major League Soccer, but with international football?
Yeah, that's my big question too, because obviously it's a Copa America this summer, and it's going to be in the States, and it's going to be expanded. I mean, that's going to take a lot of time, and sometimes MLS doesn't give you a break for the whole length of the competition, so they're going to miss some games in there. We'll see how they pick up injuries, and obviously playing at Miami in the summer, Colorado at altitude, Texas in the summer, that stuff wears on guys. So we'll see how they handle that through the course of the entire season, and then culminate in the playoffs in the fall. Next one up, and Shaka, you'll start here. Kylian Mbappe will join Real Madrid, and Erling Haaland should join Barcelona.
What does should mean? Should I?
I'm reading Rob Moore's questions here. Do what I'm told a little bit.
Should is kind of vague. Listen, I think Kylian Mbappe will join Real Madrid. I think this summer. That's kind of been brewing. I understand. I understand that with Madrid being a little bit kind of cautious, given that they've been burnt at least once before, twice actually. If you go back to their failed 200 million euro bid. So yeah, I think that is on the cards. Erling Haaland should, well, yeah. I think Lewandowski, while he's aging, he hasn't had the season, and I know he scored a really good goal in that Supercopa final, but he hasn't had the impact this season. So maybe Barcelona need to start thinking about his successor in a way that Bayern Munich did with the same player a few years ago. We all know that turned out. The trouble is with Barcelona, and for the foreseeable future, how do they sign Erling Haaland? I mean, everybody they've signed, even when a free transfer like Ilkay Gundogan, it's been creatively financed. Let's say. So for somebody like Erling Haaland, if you have to pay a transfer fee, if you have to pay wages that he would inevitably command, I'm not sure how creative you can get with that, given Barcelona's position. So sure. Will he ever? Can he? I just don't see it.
So let me clarify for Rob. He wants to know would the return of two big dogs will help the Classico get back to what it was with Messi and Ronaldo. So that is the should context there a little bit. So you have more context. If I was a good host, guys, I would ask this question before.
It's all about us, the viewer here. That's our only real concern.
That's all we really care
we
about.
Can all chip in.
Yeah, well, that I'm not doing. Maybe you guys can. Augie, where are you?
Listen, the Classico will always be one of the biggest games in football, and Barca will always be one of the biggest clubs, but they're not in a good place right now. And I think, 20 years ago when we had the Galacticos and Barca had their growth, they had much more power over their rivals. There wasn't the same competitive. There was no kind of Man City out there that was hoovering all the best players up. So, I mean, Mbappe to Real, I think that's likely. I do think there might be a bit of a challenge from the Premier League because he's a free agent, so that makes him more affordable to Premier League clubs who, as we know, are the richest, most powerful clubs in the world. So Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Man United, these clubs might not appeal to Mbappe, but they can certainly afford to do a deal. So I think he will go to Madrid. But Barcelona, look, in the Spanish papers this week, they've been talking about Jesse Lingard as a free agent to Barcelona. Now, say what you like about Jesse Lingard, he has had a good career at Man United in England, but Jesse Lingard is nowhere near a Barcelona player. But that shows the situation the club are in right now, that he's even being mentioned with a move to Barcelona. He's a free agent, hasn't had a club for 6 months. So even if Barca are interested, the papers in Barcelona are linking them to Jesse Lingard, not Erling Haaland. That shows you what sort of situation that Barca are in right now. So having spoken to the Haaland camp, the start of his career when he was at Salzburg, they had a plan. And the plan was he would go to Salzburg, he would then go to Germany, he would then go to another big league in Europe, and then he would move on again. He would pretty much, do a grand tour of Europe like Zlatan Ibrahimovic has done. So Barcelona at that point may have been on the list, but right now, why would he go to Barcelona? They don't even play at the new camp. So the whole draw of Barcelona isn't there. For me, I don't see Barca competing for Haaland for 5 years, and by that point, they're probably going to Real Madrid.
Okay, we're going to finish this up with both those two teams, though, in terms of conversation. Pep was asked this in the FIFA Best Awards: would your Man City team have beaten his Barcelona teams? And all he said back was just an F-bomb, was his response. So, Mark, I'll let you go first. Shaq, you tag it. Would City of current vintage beat the Barcelona treble teams of about a decade or so ago?
In a one-off game, possibly, but over, if they played them 5 times, I think Barca would win. I just think, Messi at his peak, Xavi, Iniesta, all the, Piqué at his best, Puyol. Barca were an amazing team. Now, City got Haaland, as we know, but I do think that Barcelona team were the best club side I've ever seen. I don't think City would beat them over a course of 5 games, a series of 5 games, no.
I'm with Mark here. Listen, and I know sometimes we a little bit nostalgic in how we remember things, but I'm with Mark fully in that Barca team that won the 6 titles in a season is the best club team I've ever seen. I don't know, and while we're here and rightly singing Kevin De Bruyne's praises, I don't think the game, certainly at club level, has seen anybody quite like Lionel Messi sitting in that kind of form. That team was just far too complete. I lean Barca, Pep's Barca all day long.